guys, Elsewhere here. I was going to try and wait for a little bit quieter time to record, but it just isn't happening today. My studio is in a commercial building with, of course, other shops and storage and studios and occupied space. And right now, I've mentioned before my friend and pastor who happens to occupy the space on the other side of this wall. So he's my neighbor here. And he is a welder and has a metal shop, and he is running, I believe, an air compressor right now. It's not actually that loud, but if you can hear it, that's what's going on. I also have people coming and going past the door, so you might hear random voices. It's just part of obviously being in a public space that's not exactly soundproof. So anyway, here I am. I'm gonna step in just a little bit so I can talk about my shades. I love these. I'm not really sure if the detail is gonna show up. They're basically a black and tan. You can kind of see a little bit, it looks like tortoiseshell right here. And it is, it's black and tan like that. It's kind of two different shades of amber really. But it has a little swirly pattern to it, so it's not just a random tortoise shell. Anyway, super neutral, black and tan, super neutral, black and tan happening. You can only see obviously half of my outfit, but I'm wearing black pants and black shoes. You're not really missing anything. You might pick me up, and no, you won't, but I was gonna say you might pick me up over here in the reflection. Anyway, how's everybody doing? Obviously no hair and makeup today. Designing the studio and getting it ready so that I can record for you guys, and with all of the things I have going on to prepare this actual space, I don't actually have time to do hair, makeup, and wardrobe and present an entire show the way I have in some of the past videos. And so here I am. I hope you can appreciate. I will talk just a little bit because my hair is different. I went ahead, and you can't even really tell, even if I come up close, you might be able to see a little bit, but I basically gave myself a bob line, just a straight around, and I'm parting on the side and kind of just letting my hair be soft and natural. Because I cut in the bottom, the straight bob, it doesn't go in a ponytail anymore. So we'll see. It'll be back by fall, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. Anyway, and then of course plain-faced sunscreen is all I'm doing right now. It's really warm outside and the weather's beautiful. Speaking of things like lighting and sunscreen and things like that, the studio has absolutely no natural light. I've had to block it out, and so I'm experimenting with lighting. In fact, I'm gonna turn one of my lights to see if I can actually light up my background a little bit. It'll just be a little experiment on camera here, and we'll just see if that is helpful. And then I actually have one here that might be even, maybe I'll keep it kind of slanted down, but maybe that'll be helpful too. Let's try it. I wanted to show you, yeah, it's not really picking up the back wall, which is what the feature, it's what I'm talking about today. But that's okay. It's close enough. I had showed in a previous video the quilt wall and talked a little bit about Grandma's dresser and mirror and how I used to play with the accessories, and they hung all over this mirror in her bedroom, and I would go up and I would play. And I had explained that, of course, that will now be my cosmetic space, and so I have to work on an accessory space. So this wall is actually opposite the quilt wall. And so as you can see, again, no lack of color. This wall was pre-existing and was already the rough OSB. This is the only wall that I didn't actually install when I moved in. And it divides me from the space next door, and so I have a neighbor on the other side of me, and they're not here today, so, which is good because this is the only wall that's not insulated. So we would be really close. She would be hearing everything I'm talking about right now if she was here. So anyway, I had to tackle the accessory wall, and I had mentioned in a previous video that it was a project I was going to be working on and a goal so that I can get the vanity set up for the cosmetics and the makeup mirror, the lit mirror, and get the accessories put away. So I'm not one to buy. I looked at buying kind of like a closet organizing kit, and then I was just gonna do a wall unit. So it'd be open, you know, it wouldn't be shut like a closet, but I would have, you know, the rungs and the drawers and the shelves, and everything would be, you know, it's easier for me to go out and buy random hardware and use my own tools and build stuff on my own than it is for me to read directions and put together prefab items. So that's what I've done. I had showed you the wall in the previous video. I have, I might shoot another video after this just to show you the fabric wall. But I had hung things on rungs, and I only have 3 on that wall, but I had enough, I bought enough to put in to install 4, and so I have one here, and for now it's holding my bags. I've kept my bags I have more, of course I have more. But these would be capsule wardrobe items that are just really universal. Like right now, the black and tan, I can pretty much pick, you know, any of these and put it with my outfit and I'm fine. One of the things that I couldn't find, believe it or not, well, one thing I couldn't find was I just wanted the curtain rods with the hooks, like you would put up a curtain, but I wanted to use this doweling. Not only is it cheaper, but I can cut it to length. It's very universal, user-friendly. I can put it where I need it to be. You know, I can decide how big around I need the rung and how heavy, and it just, it's better for what I'm trying to do. So, but what I couldn't find is S-hooks, which I was able to find some, but not like this. And this one is even a little different because this curve here is a little bit bigger than this curve here. So this curve actually pretty much fits on the rung I got, and this one isn't quite big enough for like your standard closet rung, but it's a little bit bigger. Anyway, I had to order these and I had to wait for them. So, but now what I had done is I had just strung my straps onto the rung and hung it up there. And so things were hanging sideways and they were jutting out away from the wall because I don't have the clearance. So having these now, I was able to turn these so now they're all facing me, they're flush against the wall, and I can see what I'm doing, just like my clothing. And the clothing works because the hooks on the hangers pivot. I bought plastic retail hangers so that the top would pivot and the hook wouldn't be fixed in one direction, so that I could have my things facing me and flush against the wall. So anyway, I got a lot accomplished, and one of the reasons this project was so important is because even though this is just a small capsule collection, getting things up and out of the way just is creating space for me to move on to the next project. Every time I complete a task like this, I feel so accomplished. And if you could see what was going on in this space, I literally just have project after project after project, and they all have to be done. And so I thought, since I've got this fairly organized, I thought I'd give you guys just an example. I had, for some reason, I had some curtain rod hooks, but the hook isn't the actual size of any of my curtain rods, and I'm not really sure why. They're too small. Even for the small doweling that I bought, the hook was still too small. And so I still used them, and then I just hung my belts in, and I just use them. And they come out 3 or 4 inches from the wall, so I'm able to kind of stack my belts. So that's really great. I have a couple different styles that I'm going to be trying out. I got some wide elastic with the really big buckles here, and those are actually meant to go with what I'm wearing today. I have these pants are called a palazzo pants, so they're like a baggy trouser, wide leg pajama, very roomy, and then they come up fairly high on the waist. And so I thought having a statement piece here and then having the rest of this, that's the thought. We'll see. It'll be obviously one of my outfits I'll put together, and I'll break down the elements. Another thing I did on this wall was I also have, I'll show one of these just because it's new and I haven't, and it's the same concept, but what I did, and this will contrast the black so you guys won't be able to see it anyway, but they're wide. They're just a man-made material, but it's a wide kind of cummerbund. And then I'll just do it up high so you guys can get an idea. I'll just do it under my breasts here, which I might do depending on the outfit I'm wearing. A high waist is okay. It's just not where the waist of the pants are in this. But then anyway, so this wraps around, and then you can make a bow here, or you can take it back around and tuck it in or do whatever. Anyway, it's a wraparound. It's very universal in size, and it's just meant to create a detail. See, it just breaks up the black, a solid black, and it's a neutral. So anyway, I got some of these to play with, these wider belts. So looking forward to that. And then this gold mirror, let's get into this mirror for a second. It's so weird. This sweater is almost like a poncho. It's hard to find yourself in it. You just gotta feel around until you get it where you want it. Which I actually kind of love. They're just like a big blanket. Like I can wear this to the beach, and I don't know, they're just fun and light and not too heavy for the heat, but they keep the sun off, and I like them. Anyway, moving on to more accessories. Now, this wall is not accommodating everything. I need some shelves that I've bought. I'm gonna possibly put some small shelves up that'll hold my sunglasses. I haven't decided yet. I don't know what I'm doing. But the gold mirror, I chose to take the idea from Grandma of having the accessories hung on the mirror, and so now I have and the mirror is gold, so, and I know it's not really picking up in the camera, but I wanted to just give you an idea because it has all these points. I was able to just hang different pieces. So I basically did gold on one side and silver on the other. And then some, I have some colorful pieces here. I have some amethyst, and then I have some multi-tone, which it won't pick up, but they're like amber, turquoise, garnet, silver piece, and some black. You might be able to pick up a little bit of shine, but it's just a long strand of black crystal beads. So anyway, jewelry is hanging from the mirror, so I can look in the mirror, and this mirror is good for my accessory mirror because I don't need to see below my waist. Accessory, you know, my jewelry is going to be necklaces, earrings, you know. So anyway, that is the idea. So I can do belt, bag, and jewelry on this wall. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys. And then because I'm doing really good on my time here and I have a little bit of slack, I will talk about this wall for just a minute. I talked about my custom purple, which the entire room is except for a few key spots. This was at one point occupied by a painter, and so when I took the space, for one thing, the walls weren't finished, obviously, except for this one and the door, and this wall and the door and the floor were all paint splattered and were already somewhat distressed and random, and there wasn't a lot of it going on, but it was enough to actually motivate me to I just carried it through with the theme. I had a bunch of random leftovers. I had spray paint, I had small sample cans, I had kids finger paint. I just had a variety of all these different random paints. And so at the time I was studying chakras, and so I had decided, because of the energy I wanted to bring to the space, and because I've already spoken about how important color is in my life and the colorful chaos, so I thought this would be a good representation. So the floor is actually purple, like the rest of the room. And so I started, I don't even know if you can really see it, but below this orange is red. And so we have 7 chakras. There's 7 colors in the rainbow. And basically, this theory is that our energies are aligned with the spectrum, the light spectrum, and the rainbow. And it starts with red at your root chakra and then goes up through, yellow being your solar plexus, and then up through. So And then I had, you can kind of see where it gets, it's a little bit mottled throughout, and you can see some different textures. You can also see the black lines, which is actually it's on the OSB when it comes from the manufacturer, and so you can't really cover it up or get rid of it. So I just kept it as an element. And then the texture, like the wall isn't completely, the paint isn't entirely opaque, and so you can still see the texture and the wood through the paint. But that's why there is this colorful backdrop happening. And then just so you guys can get a little more perspective, there's my other bike. So there's a bike hanging over the quilt above the vanity, grandma's vanity. And then over here, there's one hanging above. And then behind it, it's actually, you can see that green and white up there, that's leftover OSB, and that's another storage loft. This place actually has quite a bit of space. It's just limited in capacity. Like that loft is only about 2.5 feet tall. So I can cram a bunch of stuff in there, but it's not like I can get up there. You can't even really crawl around. It's almost too short to even really be on your hands and knees. But it offers a storage area that's really nice. It gets stuff out of my way. So yeah, guys, I think that's it. I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the accessory wall. And you know me, things are gonna morph and change over time. I think I'm gonna stop here and then go ahead and record. I wanted to show you what I did with the fabric and how that worked out, and what I've been doing on the other wall. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, you guys. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for listening. I realize that I haven't dressed up in a while, and I love it so much, and all of this is kind of the backstage pass. It just kind of shows you what I'm working with. I wanted to show you, it's not in the frame. Oh, I have a hook right here. I took these down, but this bag right here actually is holding all of my wigs, which I got 2 more today that will be happening. So I just have planning for future episodes and plans I have for hair and makeup and outfits for you guys. So thanks for being on my journey with me. And I'm going to go ahead and shut this down so that I can do another little video on the capsule collection and the fabric that I hung. So I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll swear out.